Okay, as promised, this will be a run through of what I remember differently on the world map. So I'm going to start with Alaska here. These two giant chunks taken out of it, these two big bays. Those weren't there before. This was more of a smooth coastline. And Alaska wasn't anywhere near as close to Russia as it is now. And this island is in between two. It seems like you could canoe across that pretty easily. I remember the Bering Strait being much wider. Go to South America. So this is way too far to the east. I remember Rio being in the eastern time zone. So I think you'd move this over and line up Ecuador and Peru with maybe Arizona. And Central America looks like it got stretched, like someone took South America and just pulled it this way, and South America got stretched with it. And I remember Panama being a north-south country, and now it's east-west. And the Panama Canal is actually northwest to southeast. I remember that being east to west before. Next. Cuba. Cuba used to be a lot smaller and it had a different shape. It always used to be compared to a cigar, which obviously isn't true anymore. Let's see, what else? All these islands, I remember them being lower, like further away from the coast of Florida. Especially Bermuda. Bermuda was lower. The Bahamas weren't off the coast of Florida. These islands here in the middle of the Atlantic, I don't remember those being there at all. Europe. The Mediterranean Sea looks pretty compressed to me. Italy, the leg looks too far cocked back. I remember being more north-south, like rotated a little bit this way. I also don't remember this high heel being here. I remember this being more of a normal foot shape. Sicily was definitely not right next to the tip of the boot. It was out further. Germany. Germany and Poland were not approximately the same size. Poland should be much smaller. I remember Germany taking up maybe more area like this. Austria looks weird. The shape looks weird, and maybe it's too small. Everything in here looks a little off to me. Let's go to India. I remember India having more of a T shape. So maybe this land here used to be part of India. Australia. Australia is a big one for a lot of people. So I would take this and move it down here. It was much more surrounded by water. It wasn't anywhere near Indonesia or Papua New Guinea before. New Zealand used to be north of Australia, not south. I'm not quite sure if I remember being northeast or northwest. I may have looked at a map one time and it was like sectioned off. You know, they put an island in a box and Australia was in its own box, and it may have been on the left side, so maybe that's why I'm thinking that. But it was definitely north and not south. Let's see. Japan looks like it's too close to the coast here. Should be further out this way. And I remember from what I learned about World War II, while Japan was occupying the Koreas, I remember the Koreas being southwest of Japan. So I'm not sure if those are supposed to be down here or if Japan was maybe higher up. Not quite sure on that. I don't quite remember where Korea was. Mongolia. I do not remember Mongolia being a modern-day gigantic country like this. If I had to guess, I'd say most of this land was part of China because China looks pretty small compared to what it used to look like. I think that's about it for the major ones. One last thing here. So on globes and maps, they used to show ice, a big ice cap on the Arctic Circle here. And I was taught there was no land here, but there was that giant ice cap. And, you know, if Santa's supposed to come from here, how is that even possible if it's just water? There should be a huge ring of ice glacier thing up here. It's not there anymore. Okay, so I'll probably do a specific video on Mongolia and maybe a couple of the others I just mentioned later.